watching this man. I mean, he is clearly struggling, but he is, if nothing else, absolutely rack full of determination to make this count. 35 years of age now. He's been around for quite some time, but he's honoured us with his presence. And the very fact that he has the will to do this and just to drive himself on, it's a credit to him and indeed to those who have helped him to get here.
Completely, and I think at every level you have to focus on your own race, don't you? Everybody's got a target within a race, and it's going to look vastly different for different competitors, but it doesn't take anything away from the importance of that rider being here today. And that is the story for a lot of these early starters. But talking of early starters, Naseyumva coming into the closing meters of his ride, and it has been brilliant today.
Good man, a very good man indeed. Well, we said around about an hour we could be seeing times. Well, he's trimmed that. He's going to be in the 56s by the time he finishes. He's still got these desperate little rises and falls which account for the last 300 or 400 meters. And it really is rather cruel. I mean, it's great entertainment for us. And he is smiling through the grimace as well, and bless him for that. He comes up out of the heat haze, which is still being displayed here, despite the clouds, which have just taken away the sunshine for a moment. But a beam of brightness is going to fall upon this man. He comes over this rise. He'll go into another one. And look at the reception he is receiving here. They're waiting for him, and so are we. He's going to be the first man to stop the clock on this Men's Elite World Championship time trial, and he wants to finish under 57. He's going to do it as well. Wonderful.
What a ride from Shemu Naseyumva. Every inch of that hurt, but you could see the mix of grimace and pure delight coming into those crowds to finish a time trial effort of this magnitude. He, of course, was the first rider to start in this field today in that beautiful arena with so much sense of occasion, of importance around today. The first time we've had the World Championships, the UCI Worlds, come to Africa, here in Rwanda, in Kigali, and he will now take to that hot seat. And yeah, that was a fine example of the local talent.
Some beautiful buildings here as well. This is the convention centre here in Kigali, modelled upon a beehive, apparently. Traditional beehive. Not one, I believe, built by bees, but they used to make beehives out of kind of bound rope. There we are. Built up in a spiral. You know, save you having to climb a tree to get your honey. That kind of thing. Anyway, moving on. More technology. Rope beehives. It's worth pondering. Gervais, we are looking at the moment, and we're waiting for our splits. Gervais, second quickest, 10 seconds down at the first split to Naseyumva, who has indeed completed the course. But showing you just how competitive the Rwandans are. They will naturally have practiced every single twist and turn, probably knows every single millimetre of this course. The man has just finished, but Laurent Gervais is on his case. And as we have seen earlier in the women's time trial, running a negative split, holding your pace throughout. I mean, our women's champion, I won't give the game away, did an amazing job of nailing every single split, to be fair, to achieve the title. Right now, Laurent Gervais may well be moderating his pace. He could be our leader at the end of this run.
And it's no small feat, is it, to achieve that? And we talk about riders mapping out their effort and knowing exactly what they can do, but doing that on race day with the different pressures that are thrown at a rider in that scenario, you can't guarantee it. You cannot guarantee mentally, physically how you're going to feel at each point. And yeah, how much you are absorbing on the day of all the potential difficulties thrown at you. And again, as we move up the list to the pointy end today, you know, there's riders that will have psychologists around them or have ultimate team support will have played out every inch of this race in their head for quite some time before fielding it, but that's not going to be the case for everyone. But I think we're seeing the gains refined and refined for our top competitors, and it's fascinating from every element of the sport.
Some very vocal support, I must say, for Ahmed Orkin here. Well, I've seen him in action on the track, Ahmed. Also seen him in the Tour of Turkey. Well, a constant reminder of the history of this now great nation. And this is the Campaign Against Genocide Museum and their gardens. And a rather spectacular statue, I must say, as well. Stands as a proud testament to the courage, resilience and ultimate unity of the Rwandan people to put that unimaginable horror behind us and indeed move on. And having the UCI World Championships is absolutely part of indeed that celebration, that this is now a peaceful and beautiful nation with some extraordinarily friendly people that have welcomed us roundly. And Laurent Gervais at the moment is being screened through every single benchmark, and he is standing up to the test, doing a phenomenal job. And I think the Canadian will be our leader at the end of this run. Let's see how his latest splits are going. He's coming to the second split. In fact, it'll be a little while before he gets there. In about 6 minutes' time, he should be there. And I think that he may well have taken control of this. Take nothing away from Nissan Gyumva. I think his run was absolutely one to write home about. This is Lake Kivu, as you can see. And it's an absolutely beautiful... It is, of course, a landlocked nation. But yet, of course, it does have these enormous bodies of water, and how beautiful they are as well. Almost tranquil. It kind of looks like an ocean opening up before you. I mean, some of the lakes in Africa are unbelievably large. Lake Victoria, many of you will know, is... I mean, you get to the middle of Lake Victoria and you may as well be in the Pacific Ocean. You have no sight of any land either side of it. It's so vast. And there's some big bodies of water as well, of course, here in Rwanda, which very much part of our backdrop today, and very beautiful they are too. Well, how beautiful that run is going to be for Gervais, we will wait to find out. Meanwhile, back to the start house. And it is Red Walters who is off the ramp for Grenada. You know, no rider who takes part in this is going to forget this. It is a life experience for everybody who witnesses it. It's lovely, isn't it?
It's spectacular. We were so excited at the start of the day, and it's just delivered, hasn't it? It's not disappointed whatsoever. It's, yeah, in every element of it, it's been a real joy, a real pleasure to observe this so far, and it's going to get better and better as more of our riders manifest their rides today. But we've, of course, got such big talking points in our contenders. We've mentioned people, including Ghana, that aren't here, but the people that are here are, yes, are going to certainly get our tongues wagging. And we have Tadej Pogačar going later, much later on, of course, as we'd expect. But Remco Evenepoel wants to make history, and the biggest talking point coming into this has been their head-to-head and what the outcome of that might be today.
Let's see, shall we? They measure each other's success against each other, and why not have that ultimate benchmark? I often think that the likes of Remco Evenepoel, you know, they say Tadej Pogačar, somebody like Tadej Pogačar comes along once in a lifetime. Why did it have to be in my lifetime? Because, I mean, it is a dominant performance by Tadej Pogačar. He skipped the Vuelta, so I'm actually wondering what sort of shape he's going to be in to take on Remco Evenepoel, who's also had a bit of a gap himself, of course, by design, stepped off the bike in the Tour, as you well know, changing teams. So we'll see what sort of mood he's come here. I think the very fact that Remco Evenepoel could get the hat-trick 3 in a row It's too big to pass up, surely.
It's a big mind game, isn't it? Between those two riders, and we are here for it. We absolutely love that battle, and I just think from looking at all the anecdotes and quotes in the press so far from Remco this week, he's so confident and he's really throwing it out there, isn't he, publicly to Pogačar, which makes it even more of a joy for us to anticipate.
Aurélien de Comeron is next, riding for Mauritius. Do you know what? I want them to come to my next birthday party. I like this vibe.
You're going to have to see about arranging it. It would be spectacular, wouldn't it?
I could put a hip out, to be honest, quite easily. We thought about going to a samba bar last night. We thought again because we were just we were dedicated to you.
Well, I was going to say we decided to talk about development of skin suits and things like that instead. But it did sound good. Next time.
Next time. Gervais still catching. In fact, I think this is his second. I was going to say minute man, but it's 2.5 minute men, isn't it, in front of him? So Gervais is eating into the crowd. In fact, he's caught 3 riders out there. That was Ricardo Sogede. He's just moved by from Benin. So he looks like he is having a very effective run as we dwell on, of course, the Volcanoes National Park once again. These volcanoes, you know, there's 2 ways to form mountains. One is by tectonic motion, and the other is, of course, by volcanic activity. One gets thrown up from the deep, and the other is the movement of the Earth's crust. I mean, you're getting it all here.
That's at least my second geography lesson of the day.
No, there'll be more.
One was teaching me how time zones work.
We are playing here in Kigali, this wonderful capital of the great country of Rwanda. And we are loving the cycling so far. It's about to get very, very intense. And I think our benchmark, our next one, in fact, I think he's just coming up to our next split in a few moments' time. We, of course, are busying ourselves not only in keeping it... Oh, hello, it's Cox gone red against him. So still, Nesingiyumwa has the advantage. Now, it's 13 seconds down. It looks like it's going to be magnified far more than that. So what's Gervais got for the latter part of the course? And I don't think he's got the measure of Nesingiyumwa, who has done an absolute dream start. We had no reference to it until this moment. But the very fact that Gervais has been found out by this kind of margin, all it does is underscore what the Rwanda did a little bit, Rwandan champion, I should say, Shemu did a little bit earlier on. Because this is 3 times the advantage.
Yeah, it was a really, really stunning early ride, really solid performance. So after the first intermediate time check, Florian Vermeersch came in 45 seconds up on Nesimiumga and Gervais at 56. But he looks to be coming. Let's have a confirmation of what happens at this second intermediate time check.
He's just been through it, 39, near enough. 38.82, there it is.
There we go, confirmation of that.
So Liu at 2 minutes and 44. So still Rwanda will be indeed continue the dancing band theme, because they've got a lot to celebrate with a fantastic performance by their national champion and Nesingiyumwa, who has done an amazing job and is still out of reach. I'll be getting in touch with Anthony McCrossan a little bit later on, because the Kimu Ronku market have got a special hat sale tonight. And I'm just hoping that it can bring me back something rather special. Let's wait and see. Baskets, shoes, kitchenware, and artisan-made crafts, and homemade herbal remedies. That sounds like a winter warmer. Meanwhile, Gervais sails by another. This is Dalani of the Comoros Islands. Very sort of old school looking coloured kit there. I actually really quite like that. In the old racing days, the solid, the national colours were reflected, and they had to have a meeting, and I believe it was in France, to decide on the national racing colours of all nations. And apparently we missed the boat, the Brits did, and got to the got to the meeting late, and all that was left was green, which is British Racing Green. There we are. So, there we are. Don't know why. But let's go for a little heli shot over the magnificent tea plantations once again. Still haven't had a cup of tea. Anyway, it's time for Mr. Munton. Byron, in fact. Well, somebody, of course, well known for a Grand Tour. Let's see how he gets on. I was talking Byron there, but anyway, that was a long time ago. This is Byron Munton for the Republic of South Africa. In fact, for many years, of course, African success generally tended to focus on South Africa, but the focus has kind of moved to include many other nations of the great continent, hasn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just keeping an eagle eye here. I'm distracting myself on the performance of Vermeersch. And we've talked a lot about our expectations in different tech setups, and just look at the contrast here as we're starting to see him go through these timing points. And 45 seconds he was up on Nsengiyumva at the first time check. And we'll see what plays out in the rest of his ride for Belgium. But I've also been trying to really have a look at the gear selection of some of these riders, because I think what will happen as we get further on today will be that differences can be made on these descents. And so I think, again, it's been quite a difficult measure to get of the preparation of the bike, given the elevation gain, but given how much they'll want to unleash as much power as possible on other parts of this course, including those wide descents. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll get a bike close-up of Florian Vermeersch.